Yes, welcome back to the second lecture of this series called Cloud Computing. And today we will be learning about the service models of the cloud computing, like which service models or the basis of which service model the cloud computing is serving its customer, or the deployment models on which basis or which parameter a cloud is deployed to quench his customer's need. We will be discussing EAS, PaaS, SaaS, every topic mentioned here deeply, along with public, hybrid, and private cloud. So let's start with the service models. Service models are three types of models in the cloud computing, which is EAS, PaaS, and SaaS. EAS stands for Infrastructure as a Service, PaaS, Platform as a Service, and SaaS is for Software as a Service. EAS is generally used for the network architecture. PaaS. Now let's learn more about EAS. Now EAS stands for Infrastructure as a Service. It's an instant computing service infrastructure which is hosted and managed over the internet, which means it's on the internet and it's really easy to fetch it out. Now, EAS also provides us with the facility to scale the resources we are using up and down. Suppose if we don't have that much requirement like we did earlier, so we can scale down the services we are using, and now we would be only paying for what we are using. So this is how it's quite manageable for us to use these services, as we don't have boundary that if we take certain amount of resource we won't be able to scale up and down, because EAS lets us to scale up and down the resources we required according to our needs. And here it also avoid us to avoid it also help us to avoid the expenses, like the expense required to have a place for data center, hire technical people, and lots more. So this is how it is also saving up tons of money. And here are some examples of infrastructure as a services that we would be using unknowingly, like web hosting, storage, backup, recovery system, and lots more. This list is gonna keep up and up. Now let's learn about the second service model of cloud computing, which is PaaS. PaaS stands for Platform as a Service. It basically is a software service model for all the developers, as it helps them by providing runtime environment for application development and deployment tools, rent middleware tooling, and it is also built using the hosted software. The examples for these softwares are Azure services, which we would be learning, SQL services, etc. It basically enables us to deliver everything from simple cloud based applications to the cloud enabled enterprise application. We just purchase the resources we require from the cloud service provider on pay as you go basis and access them over a secure internet connection. Basically, what we require, we purchase it from the cloud service provider, and then we can access that services via secured internet connection. It's as simple as that. PaaS is an developing aid for all the developers because it provides the runtime environment which suits their creation and helps them test that what they have created and what more changes are required. Moving towards the third service model of cloud computing is SaaS. Before discussing SaaS, I know you all would be using this slang. I will just Netflix and chill. So have you ever wondered like what is Netflix and how the shows come to you? Your all favorite shows, TV series, be it anything. Now you would say it's all because of my search history and the recommendations are based on it. Okay, so all those series, how they come on it? Let me tell you, these software are rented by the business owners who want to forecast their series, and that's how they reach to you. SaaS is basically a finished product which is rented by the users to use. For example, as I shared, Netflix and Microsoft 365, and here you don't have customization. Time to let's think what is a deployment model. So, deployment model is basically how a cloud is structured for your use or how it's deployed. To deploy a cloud, we set up a cloud deployment method and we choose an appropriate models according to our needs. So here we have three types of deployment models: public cloud, hybrid cloud, private cloud. So let's discuss each of them in depth. Now let's discuss about the first deployment model of the cloud computing. This is public cloud. As the name suggests, this cloud is for public to use. Like if you whether you are IT professional or a normal user, if you want it, you are welcome, you can use it. Here you aren't responsible for maintaining your hardware or the data center or the technicians, and you only pay here for what you use. Here, the cloud service provider is responsible for the hardware and the maintenance of the public cloud. And if you require it, you have the opportunity. Please go and search whatsoever is required for your personal needs or professional needs. Now let's move toward the second deployment model of the cloud, which is the private cloud. As the name would be suggesting, private means one's own, and so is this cloud. It is hosted by an individual, which means if I am hosting a private cloud for my needs, I would require to rent a place for data center, the hardware required for data center, the technician team, the professionals required to maintain that data center. So this gives you 100% control over your resources and the security. And you are the cloud provider. Here we manage our own data center, we maintain our own servers resources, which makes it quite expensive, but it gives you your 100% security and privacy. Now let's move towards the third deployment model of the cloud computing, which is hybrid cloud. Now, as the name would be giving you a pre-image like what this cloud would be. So yes, you are correct if you are thinking that it's mixture of public and private cloud, because it is. It's the combination of public and private cloud, and it's hosted over the third party resources. Some resources are managed in-house, and these are useful for local data storage combined with the web services. The cost here is moderate because you are using public and private cloud both together. So that's it for today's lecture, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any doubts, please comment it here, or you can